This is the story of a beginner's first ride on an expert trail at Fountainhead Regional Park. According to Facebook reviews, it's a good city trail, but it pales in comparison to natural trails that exist in the West. All right, here we go. Fountainhead Regional Park today, first time here. Let's have some fun. I was getting comfortable at Wakefield and I wanted to try a new park, so I figured I'll head over to Fountainhead and see what it's all about. After riding around on the beginner trails for a while and then stumbling upon some blue trails with some fun little drops, I accidentally kind of found my way down this drop into this expert trail. Oh man, that's a hell of a drop. Let's give her a go. Oh my God, woo! And when I first rolled up to the expert trail, I actually couldn't tell if it was an entrance or the exit. Huh. Which way's up, which way is down? That looks rocky. Rocky. And I figured, what the hell, I'll go for it. And I think I made it to the first rock and then that was it. Jesus. Then I start making my way up the hill. I make one switchback and then I'm on some dirt again, and there's these two roots that are spaced like perfectly the width of my tires. Oh my God. Get over the first root, second root hits the front, and I actually have my first fall that I've ever had on a mountain bike. We were off to a little bit of a rocky start for sure. I figured, okay, the worst of it is behind us. The hard part's just getting on it. So I kept on pedaling, and it's like every third turn, there's more and more rock gardens. Holy shnikey. Holy neat Schneider. After what I felt like was halfway, I started noticing that my crank was making a lot of noise, and there's like this squeaking sound coming from it. I didn't know what was going on. Oh my God, my crank. That thing is coming off fast. That is not good. How does this keep happening? If you know why this keeps happening, let me know. So what do? I think just take it easy. 100% that thing's coming off. What am I gonna do? I'm just not gonna pedal. No impacts. God, why did I not bring the Allens? I keep going through these multiple mile markers. 4.5. Out of how many? As I look down at my crank, it's just getting further and further spaced out. And I'm like, oh shit. I remember that earlier on in the trail, I'd come across this little divider, and it said fire and first aid has its own access route. Later on, I'm riding, and at this point my crank is like completely out. I was starting to see some bare metal that had never been exposed before. Dude, it feels so far gone. This thing's coming off. I found a solution. It's tightening. That's totally tightening. No, it's just spinning. Wait. Oh, it's totally not tightening. After I tried hand tightening it, I figured, okay, I better push it for the most part. On downhills I'll ride, but I won't pedal. Maybe there's some tools in this mystery box. There's some tools, but nothing that I need. I do that for a couple sections until I come across another one of these crossroads that has fire and first aid. Let's go down the bypass. Well, I have no idea about the layout of this trail. I didn't look to see how long it was before I went on it. And so I go down this fire and first aid route, and it takes me to like this back section of the trail near a river. Holy hell, what have I gotten myself into? It's starting to get a little bit later now. The park closes at 7:30. I think for mountain bikers it's probably 6:30. At this point I'm not panicking, but I'm just trying to find a way out. Now where? Eventually I come across another one of these fire and medic crossroads. One thing about the park though is that it is beautiful. And speaking of beautiful, if you like the way that the GoPro footage looks and the way that this interview looks, you can go ahead and download the LUT. Link is in the description below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you can stay up to date with all my latest snowboarding, mountain biking, or motocross content. Ladies and gentlemen, this could be our moment. We did go down a bypass sign once already, but got a good feeling about this. Trail, fire and rescue access to a picnic table. That looks slightly promising. I figure, okay, picnic area, that's got to be a little meetup spot where there's going to be several people at. It's still a little bit of a long trail, and quite honestly, the whole trail was really fun. I wish that I had some cranks that worked, but I just took this bypass and I ended up coming across the river from the picnic area. So I don't know what the fire and first aid is supposed to do when they get to this river, but I walked back up the hill, found the trail, and then I coasted down on my pedals again. And that's where I saw and ran into these two guys on the trail, Ken and Mike. Do y'all have a multi-tool on you by chance? Right here. Ah, sweet, thank you. Any idea why this might be happening? It happened the last couple rides, and I tightened it right before I head out.
What kind of cranks are they?
I have no idea, to be completely honest with you. I'm just getting into the sport. They got me hooked up a little bit, tightened the crank back in, took a look at it, realized the bolt is stripped. So this is 2023 Lava Dome. I've had it for about a month and a half now, probably ridden it less than 10 times, and this bolt is already stripped. I don't think that it's Kona's fault or fault of the bike. I think it was probably an assembly issue. I got it assembled from a local bike shop. I think it just may not have been tightened all the way at first. And then me being a beginner rider, I think I rode on it a little bit too much, and then it stripped the bolt out. So thankfully Ken and Mike were able to get me hooked up. We got my crank screwed in as much as we could, even though it was stripped, but it just needed to survive the trip back to the parking lot. Yeah.
How to get out of here?
I actually don't know. I'm assuming this way, parking lot, that way.
I mean, are you fast?
I don't know. I really don't know. I haven't really ridden.
Very casual.
Okay. So I'll ride with you. Oh yeah. Are y'all heading out?
We are.
Cool. They were definitely not just going for a leisurely stroll. They said they were, and it probably was in reality. I'm a beginner. I don't know exactly what what cooking it looks like on a mountain bike, but we started making our way out, and then we were riding for a little bit, and there's this really slick corner, and I'm riding right behind Ken, and unfortunately this mosquito's got to get out of here. But unfortunately there's some loose dirt. Ken comes in just a little hot, and he's got clip-on pedals. Woo-hoo-hoo. You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right. And front end tux washes out, and there's nothing he can do, and he just falls over there. Really? Fortunately though, he was all good, everyone was all good, got up, and we were able to make the trip back to the parking lot. Pedal held on just barely. You can hear it squeaking at the end, but definitely something I gotta get taken care of. All things considered, pretty great first visit to Fountainhead. Definitely eventful, but as a beginner, I would say understand the trail that you're getting into. At the very least, know how long the loop is. 4.5 out of how many? You know, I just saw Black Diamond. I said, oh, I could do that. It's no problem. And be prepared. Have a spare tube. Have an Allen wrench.
You have Allen keys at home, right?
Yeah.
And always carry a tube.
So you could at least make some basic adjustments or repairs out on the trail. I'll see you in the next one.